Will I be regretting this when I'm too afraid to close my eyes in the shower later? Yeah, I probably will. Oh well. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Book Talks with Yo. My name is Yoanna and today I'm going to share with you my October Spooky TBR. Well, let me just clarify that I am a big scaredy cat and not a fan of true horror books or anything too scary, to be honest. Like, don't expect any haunted thrillers or any books like this in this TBR. Instead, I would like to read just more cozy spooky books, if that makes any sense. You know, like books that are still in line with the whole Halloween month thing, but such that won't give me nightmares for the rest of the year. Although that would be the least of my problems, the least of my concerns in 2020. So yeah, I think without further ado we can just jump into the video and look at the books that I will be reading in the second part of October. The first book on my TBR, and they're in no particular order because I still haven't decided how I'm going to read them. Maybe I'll just go with the flow. So yeah, the first one is The Sea of Tranquility by Katja Millay. I'm not really sure how to pronounce this name, so I might be totally wrong, excuse me. So yeah, to be honest, I haven't heard of this book before. I googled spooky but not scary reads, but something about the cover and the title just piqued my curiosity and made me want to read the synopsis, which made me want to read the book very badly. Now, before I tell you what this book is all about, I just want to read you the beginning of the synopsis, because I think it's very nicely written and it's very intriguing. So, I live in a world without magic or miracles, a place where there are no clairvoyants or shapeshifters, no angels or superhuman boys to save you, a place where people die and music disintegrates and things suck. I am pressed so hard against the earth by the weight of reality that some days I wonder how I am still able to lift my feet to walk. Yeah, that was the first thing that I really read when I searched this book, and it immediately piqued my curiosity. I wanted to know more. So, the story is about this girl, Nastya, who just wants to get through high school without anyone learning about her dark past. And the second thing she wants is to revenge this boy that took quite literally everything from her, like her spirit, her identity, her will to live. We don't know anything else about this, but we know this. And on the other hand, we have this boy, Josh. He's a very lonely boy because everyone he has ever loved in his life has been taken away from him. So yeah, everyone is avoiding him, except for Nastya, who is insinuating herself in every aspect of his life. The whole premise of the book, the whole synopsis is very vague, but I don't want to spoil myself anyway, so I think I'll just pick that book up very soon and see what's going on with those two for myself. Next one is Truly Devious by Maureen. Now, if you've watched my previous video where I talked about my top 10 embarrassingly still unread books, you probably know that I promised to read this book in my October Spooky TBR. So yeah, here we go. Now, for those of you that don't know, the action takes place in Ellingham Academy, which is this private school for the brightest minds, brightest creators and thinkers. The founder of the school actually becomes a victim of a crime shortly after opening the academy, as his wife and daughter are kidnapped, and no one has been able to solve this crime. No one has been able to decipher it, and it actually turns into one of America's greatest unsolved crimes. This is of course before Stevie Bell, who is a very talented and bright girl, enrolls into the school, and she's resolved to solve this case. She has a passion for true crime. However, at this time, another murder hits the school, so the two mysteries are interwoven. I'm actually planning to read the first book of the trilogy this month, like in October, and hopefully I will read the other two in November. But we will see. Next book on my TBR is actually a middle grade, and this is Coraline by Gaiman. Surprisingly, I still haven't read the book or watched the movie, so I'm excited to get to it. I vaguely know what the premise is about, because I've been wanting to pick it up for a long time, but I may have been scared to do so. Now, before you come at me, I know this is middle grade, so technically it's not that scary, but from fellow scaredy-cats, they were seriously spooked, which is essentially what we want in this TBR, so we will read this book now. In case there is anyone that doesn't know, it tells the story of this little girl, Coraline, and how her family is moving to a new home. And as she's exploring this new place, she finds a door that leads to another flat that's just like her own. At first, everything seems even better because the food is more delicious, the toys are more interesting, it's just more magical. But there is also another mom and another dad there, and they want Coraline to stay with them. The thing is that they are different, so they want to change her as well. And as far as I know, I think they had buttons sewed where the eyes are supposed to be, which was enough to freak me out from the movie years ago. Yeah, but I think they want to change her to the same to her and want her to stay there forever. As well as that, Coraline finds that there are other kids trapped there, so she has to be brave and imaginative and try to save them, herself, and her ordinary life. I think I'm gonna read the book and probably watch the movie afterwards if I'm feeling courageous. But we will see. Okay, book number 4 in this TBR is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. Now, I've heard this book mentioned a few times, but I didn't know much about it, and I did some research. So I found out that this is actually Shirley's last novel, published in 1961, and the thing that I found very interesting was that according to her biographer, Judy Oppenheimer, I think, the two female lead characters of this book actually represent the yin and yang of Shirley's inner self. Like we have this explorer and challenger on the one hand, and on the other we have this domestic homebody, basically. So the story is about those two sisters, Mary Cat, who is 18 and is very headstrong, but at the same time she's naive and worldly, and on the other hand we have her sister, her older sister Constance, who doesn't really venture any further than the garden of the Blackwood family estate. Now, they are the last two surviving of this old grand family, alongside with their uncle Julian, who is infirm in body and often in mind. So yeah, their dynasty has been wiped out after someone put arsenic in the sugar bowl that they sprinkle on their dessert. And of course there is this whole mystery surrounding this, like who put the poison in the sugar. And yeah, this is all I know from the premise, but this book is considered a classic and it's a gothic novel, so the literature major in me is pumped to read it. And lastly on my October Spooky TBR is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. This is another middle grade novel and it tells the story of Nobody Owens, or known to his friends as Bot, who is an orphan boy who lives in the graveyard and is raised and educated by ghosts. Now, the real danger lurks into the living world, because there is that man, Jack Frost, who actually killed Bot's family, and he's still lurking there and searching for Bot. Well, I know that this book is full of funny adventures and Neil Gaiman's fantastic writing style, so there is not much I need to know to want to read that book, because I know that it's also in many people's October TBR. It's an essential book in many people's TBR. So yeah, I'm just excited to read it. I'm excited to pick it up soon. And it sounds like something lighter that I'll probably need after all these other books. So yeah. So that pretty much wraps up my October Spooky TBR. I'm not really sure whether I would get to read all of those books in the second part of October, but I'll try my best. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on my new videos. And please let me know down in the comments if you've read any of those books and what are your thoughts on them. As well as that, please comment down below what books are you planning to read this October. Thank you once more for watching, and I really hope to see you all next time. Until then, have a smiley week. Bye!